Hello, I'm Charlotte Collins, and this is the SheerLuxe Show. Today we are getting plenty of style inspo from this week's red carpets and runways in Fashion Police. SheerLuxe's beauty contributor Rafeeka is sharing her tips on how to make your skin glow. I'll be talking to the survivor of a terrifying accident and hearing her inspirational story. Plus, there's a new instalment of BTS to keep you up to date with what's going on at the SheerLuxe office. But first, I am joined by gorgeous content creator Jess Skye, friend of the show Rachel Ingram, and founder of SheerLuxe's favourite brand with nothing underneath, Pips Darrell. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
So nice to have you all.
Thanks for having me.
Fresh faces on the panel today.
So nice to be here.
It's so lovely to have you. We've got to talk about fashion. We've got a fashion panel today, and we're going to talk about high-octane fashion because it hasn't gone away post-Christmas, has it, Rachel?
I feel like because of the last few years that we've had, everyone is really excited to get dressed up again, and never more than ever, like in January, people are wearing their silver trousers around the office. I mean, I see them all the time on SheerLuxe. I'm still wearing my like vinyl trousers. I just feel like everyone wants to have fun at the moment.
I think it's a really easy way as well to dress up like a knit.
Yeah.
We're so cold, so you want to be in your like jeans and knit, but then you could put like a big earring on, or
100%.
so you can do a bit of like high-low with that.
Totally. And do you think also, I mean, I always think in January, we've been wearing our winter clothes since September because you get really excited for jumpers, and then you just kind of get bored, don't you?
Yeah, 100%. I have a gorgeous pair of like patent croc black trousers, which I love to wear with an oversized blazer and then some silver stilettos.
Yeah.
I think it's just perfect way to just elevate a look.
I love a sparkly shoe as well.
Yeah.
Sparkly shoe.
Yes.
Have you got the mango? Have you got the mango sparkly?
The copy of
Yes, the Gucci style
yeah,
ones.
yeah. They are amazing. I've had them for years, probably 3 years,
Yeah.
and I still bring them out every single Christmas.
I also feel like we all, are buying fun fashion in and around November, December, that whole kind of Christmas trend, like we're still going for it. But if you've bought things and you want to rewear them, we don't want to just buy fast fashion. So if you've bought fun things towards the end of the year for the festive period, maybe we're trying to incorporate them more so it doesn't just feel like a kind of throwaway purchase.
Totally, and I think you're justifying those funner purchases.
Exactly.
Like I bought a little sparkly mini, which I actually wore to a wedding. It had like a roll neck, long sleeve, but it was a
Cool.
mini. And I can tuck that into a jean.
Love that.
So it's like short enough that I can wear it as a top.
Yeah,
So
that's cool.
Yeah.
Rachel, what's the funnest thing you've bought in the last few months that you're wearing into the new year?
Oh, that's a really good question. I bought one of those Benedetta, but I can't pronounce the last name, bags that's like a baguette and it's sparkly and it's like satisfying the urge and the craving I had for the Fendi baguette, the sequin one. But I feel like it's really cool with jeans, and it'll also be nice with a white dress in the summer.
Yeah.
So it's that kind of, you can wear it anytime.
Well, I've got some sparkly earrings that I haven't actually worn into the new year, but I feel like now's the time.
You could do it with what you're wearing today.
Yeah, you so could.
Sparkly
You're so
earrings.
right.
I think earrings are that piece that's like the best bit to put like a little glitz on.
Yeah, it's so true. It's so
Yeah.
true. I'm gonna
Entry
do it.
point glitz.
Exactly. I'm going to have a festive February, just you wait. Thank you. All right, next up, Rachel, Jessica and I are bringing back an old favourite. It is Fashion Police. From Dakota Johnson in triple denim to Michelle Obama in head-to-toe leather. We take a bit of outfit inspo or not from the world of celebrity this week. All right, welcome to Fashion Police, where we're going to analyse some of the best or worst outfits on the red carpet and the runways this week. We have to start by talking about the Schiaparelli show yesterday, which opened Paris Couture Week. I mean, really controversial, Rachel, you're nodding.
I just feel like sometimes we're all like little sheep that go, oh wow,
agree.
oh wow, oh wow. Like, I don't know.
I mean, Kylie Jenner had a lion attached to
Naomi
her.
had a wolf on her shoulder.
Yeah,
It was,
there was a snow leopard on Shalom Harlow too.
Yeah.
I mean, it was one of those things where exactly as you say, it sort of emerged and everyone was going, wow, wasn't that amazing? And then it took about...
take a step back, don't you?
And it took about an hour for people to be like, hang on a second. Why? And look, obviously, we should say they were fake, of course. They weren't real animals' heads. But like, what on earth is that messaging about?
as a feat of craftsmanship, I'd say how amazing. Like the close-up shots of all of the different animal heads, they were amazing.
detailing.
The detail was amazing, and like that's what fashion is. It's art. I don't know necessarily whether it translates as fashion or it's more art.
Yes,
But anyway, it was interesting. It was entertaining.
Controversial.
Shows are about entertainment now.
Yeah.
though,
They
you
are,
know?
but there's a line. There's a line and maybe didn't need to be crossed. That's what I think. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about Dakota Johnson. She was in triple denim. We talked a lot about double denim, but triple denim. She was in Magda Butrym at a premiere last week. What did we think of the look?
I love Magda. I have to say, Magda is a really cool brand, and I feel like there's something about wearing a really interesting brand when you should be wearing a red carpet that I think is quite, I don't know,
Yeah.
it's interesting.
I get that. When I think of Magda, I think of really feminine. I think of the big florals. I think of pink. I think of ruching. This wasn't that. Jess?
I love double denim. Absolutely love it. You're repping it right now. I wasn't sure about the cut of the outfit, of the cut of the jacket, the cut of the top, but I do love double denim.
It swamped her a little bit, didn't it? Kind of,
Yeah.
there was a lot of layers. I do think the bustier on its own would have been quite cool with the jeans.
Agreed.
Yeah,
And then you
that's
had
so
that
true.
beautiful décolletage, and she had that amazing necklace from Jessica McCormack on, which everybody wants.
Love.
Yeah.
So there were elements there, but it didn't necessarily translate.
Yeah,
to the
I
look.
agree. I personally think that double denim works best if the denims are slightly different and the triple threat, same dark denim.
Yeah.
Didn't really do it for me. All right, next up, Jennifer Lopez. This just says Jennifer Lopez naked dressing.
Yeah.
In Valentino,
It was quite
at a
naked.
premiere last week, Valentino Couture. It was quite naked,
Yeah.
but amazing.
I mean, she's got an amazing body. If anyone's going to go naked.
And it's J-Lo.
Yeah.
It's J-Lo.
Like,
do what she
Yeah,
likes.
for me, the only thing that I found a little bit difficult was that yellow bow.
Me too. And the matching bag. I feel like it's so...
You can see the bag.
No, I didn't either. Was it a yellow bag?
It was identical colour to the bow, and I just think
yeah,
it's
no.
just...
Yeah, contrived.
Step too far.
Yeah, it's just...
She did
Choose a
have
different
some
colour.
amazing shoes on though. She had the massive
didn't see
Valentino
them.
platforms in crystals.
Oh,
Cool.
I
and
love
I was like,
those.
good for her. She's
Yeah.
wearing a massive platform.
Yeah.
I just
love that
kind
for
of
her.
think there are a few people in the public eye who get a kind of carte blanche, and
Yeah.
whatever they do can't be wrong, and
No.
J-Lo's just one of them.
Yeah, I agree. She's
Yeah,
amazing.
I loved it. Okay, Margot Robbie. This was quite controversial, this look. Margot Robbie in Versace at the premiere of Babylon in Sydney. It was this kind of slinky baby blue. I don't know if you guys saw the original on the
I
runway.
did.
They added red lace for Margot Robbie, which wasn't there on the original. Thoughts? Jess?
I absolutely love it. And I loved it was almost like a corseted body, but not quite. I don't know, it was quite tight fitted. I absolutely love it. I love the red lace detailing. She looked so
I'm
gorgeous.
undecided. I can't work out if I love it or I don't love it. I'm kind of
It
on the
looked
fence.
amazing on her.
There's a Carla Bruni, is that how you pronounce her name? Equivalent that she wore in the, I think it was in the 90s, and was just very simple, just slinky, had that same detail on the shoulder, which I think I preferred as like a bit of a sexy slip.
Yeah,
I think it almost went a little bit too far with the lace and then the ruching round here
And the corset.
and the corset. It was, I don't know.
There was a lot happening.
There was a lot.
There was. I think it worked on her, but I
She's
do
so
I do
cool.
agree with you in terms of just the simple elegance of just baby blue slip dress.
Yeah, that colour's amazing as
She
well.
just can't go that wrong,
And she's
really.
so
I love
gorgeous.
Margot
Like, if you look like that.
Robbie.
She's so cool as well.
She is so cool. She's
Yeah.
so normal. It's
Yeah.
annoying, isn't it?
Someone I know saw her in Waitrose. Apparently she's lovely.
Like she used to live around here, you know,
Yeah.
in a flat chair. I don't know. Local celeb.
Normal gal.
Normal gal. Okay, Michelle Obama now, who has been doing, a lot of press, a lot of touring. I don't know about you guys, she's on my TikTok, like
Yeah,
all
all
day
the
long. She was wearing all black leather from Palmer Harding.
Yeah.
What do we think? We were having a bit of a chat about this before. Bit of a renaissance for Michelle Obama.
I love that she's wearing Palmer Harding, like two London guys, Central St Martin grads, and Michelle O is wearing their brand. Like that's really cool. Like what a great choice for her to be selecting a designer like that.
She has, it's a very different look
Yeah.
to what we're used to seeing her in.
Double leather.
Double leather. But she's always, do you remember the Balenciaga boots? Like,
Yeah.
she has gone there since she's left
She
the White
loves
House.
fashion. Well, you were saying that earlier about how kind of it's almost like her true personality is coming out.
Right. Like, there was, if you compare First Lady Michelle Obama with
Yeah.
now, it's a
Yeah.
completely different thing. But I don't know if I think that's cool or sad.
You play your role, don't you?
Yeah, I
And
suppose
I
so.
guess at what point you are in your life, if you have a role to play in
Yeah.
something, what job you just...
I
You just
love
lean
that
into it.
she's
Yeah.
bringing out her personality, and
Yeah.
I love that she's having fun with fashion.
Totally agree.
I'm not sure if that look is the perfect look for her. However, I just like that she's kind of coming into her own.
Agreed.
She can do no wrong.
Yeah, exactly. She's like Jane.
She's another queen, yeah.
Exactly. Speaking of another one, Tracy Ellis Ross, wearing head to toe Prada. I just think this is like one of the most elegant looks I've ever seen. I loved it.
you?
Yeah, you don't like it?
I thought it was elegant, but I thought it was a little bit corporate, And I felt like if she'd changed those black patent shoes and the black handbag for maybe a pastel or a metallic or something that had a bit of fun in it, it would have felt less office and more red carpet.
I feel like her look though is to commit 100% to a theme, an aesthetic. Jess, what did you think of it?
I feel it was very corporate. It's like you'd go into an office building, a very boring office building, and you'd see somebody in that colour. I absolutely love her, and I love Prada as a brand, but I just don't know if that...
I was thinking it'd be quite cool she had quite jewellery jewels on, right? So like quite heritage jewels. I felt like if she had something quite clean, like your necklace today and your earrings today, that felt structured and simple, because it was quite an architectural outfit.
Yeah.
The jewellery didn't follow through.
I really like it. I really like the kind of
really?
80s throwback to it. Yeah, I just think because she's
Would
somebody
you wear it?
No. But I really loved it on
you
her.
can appreciate
And I love,
it.
if you flick through her looks, it's always,
cool.
she goes kind of head to toe, whatever that look is, and I just think, I like the fact that she'll lean into it and just kind of rocks it. Okay, Michelle Yeoh next, and Carolina Herrera.
Oh, I love
What a
this.
dress.
I mean, how red carpet is that?
Yeah.
Like, it's the perfect red carpet. Carolina Herrera.
This is it.
Head to toe, just...
It felt very Victorian.
Yeah.
Didn't it?
Oh, yes, it did.
Like
Regal.
very
Yeah, the
regal.
ruffles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think, anyway, as we said, Carolina Herrera, you sort of can't really go wrong.
Yeah,
Red carpet,
agree.
glamorous, fabulous. Okay, Anna Sawai next in Acne. The colour got me.
Well, you didn't like it?
No, I did not, no.
I love that it felt like a different choice for the red carpet.
That's
you know,
fair.
I love that it felt like, how does that minimalist, slightly edgy girl do red carpet? And it was from, I think it was from Acne, and it had that really cool structured shape. I would have liked something like a big, I don't know, metal Tiffany cuff on the, or maybe even a plate necklace, like something big and chunky there to elevate it a bit
something,
more. It felt quite
Jess?
simple.
I actually really love the colour of it. I don't know, maybe because, you might not like it because of the blonde hair and your
true, in
colouring,
my head,
maybe.
I just wouldn't wear it,
Yeah, I feel like I really like I just wasn't sure on the shape.
Really?
I kind of look at things, when I see things like that, I always think, could I wear that? Would I like to wear that? And I can't see myself ever wearing that.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's how I judge on things, whether I like them or not. I can see how things would be lovely, but...
There are some red carpet looks like a Margot Robbie in a blue satin dress that you could kind of take inspo
I'd want to
from.
wear that.
This is obviously like a celebrity
I'd want
red
to be
carpet
her
look.
though.
Yeah, me too. I think I'd take, again, not the colour, but the architecturalness.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
that. But it's personal, isn't it? Okay, finally, well, you're not going to like this one then. Elle Fanning in Alexandra McQueen for the Critics' Choice Awards. I mean, this is taking architectural to a whole new level. No? Rubbing your hands
Same
together.
as what
Not
I said
me.
before.
That's a no.
Copy paste.
Yeah, Rachel.
I love it. I
Yeah.
mean, I think that she has so much fun with fashion and she really plays into that ethereal energy that she has. And I think it's McQueen. It's just, it's iconic, it's deconstructed and yet elegant. I think it was beautiful.
I do also think there's a different, it proves that architectural can still be really feminine as well.
Totally.
Like there was still that kind of romanticism to it, which perhaps the Acne one before doesn't.
Agreed.
So, it's like very fun. All right, that's it. Thank you both very much. We'll go and join Pip back on the sofa. Okay, from high octane dressing to trainers. I had this realization this year, like I'd love to be a heels girl, and Hodge, who's behind the camera, commutes in her heels and she looks amazing, but I just can't do it. I can't do it. I come from very far. Anyway, so my new plan is to wear trainers as much as possible and then elevate them with the rest of my outfit for the office. Today notwithstanding, these heels live here. So I want to know, how are you guys also married to your trainers? There was a bit of chat before. Rachel, I know you're not a heels person so much.
No,
I'm
not ready to commit to heels. Like, they're for weddings and, things, big events.
Big events.
Whereas every day I'm a flats person. And I think it's because I tried so hard for so long and then I realised, actually, I don't need to be that person.
That's it. Just need to
I don't
lean
need to.
into who you are.
I need to be me, authentically me.
This is
And
it.
I am a trainers person or a flats person.
Okay, I'm so pleased, me too. Pippa, what about you? Where do you
I
stand?
think I walk everywhere, like all the time. So I'm flats through and through, boots, trainers. Although I didn't realise that I'd got quite on trend with my, I bought the Adidas ones with the stripes on the side.
The
Samba.
Oh, I didn't think they were called that.
Gazelle?
Maybe.
Okay.
And
Getting there.
and I've had so many compliments, and I didn't realise they were the it thing. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
so I'm
style and functionality in one. What's not to love?
exactly. But yeah, I can't be doing heels.
No, Jess,
No.
you're a trainers girl.
I am such a trainers girl. Like, as you were saying, the only time I wear heels are for weddings and the odd occasion. But other than that, it's trainers all the way, apart from today.
But you did come in trainers.
I did come in trainers.
But I feel like a kitten heel is like, it's almost like a boot. It's like in between
Yeah,
wearing
I
a
agree.
heel and wearing a flat.
But
Yes.
I'm going to put my trainers back on once I get on the tube.
Yeah, damn right. I just can't be doing with the tan maintenance that these require. That's
Yeah,
all.
I had to properly do the whole
it's like
tan
work.
thing last night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, talking of taking heels to weddings, do you also take plimsolls in a little bag to change into
100%.
after dinner?
Well, I find it very offensive when weddings don't offer flip-flops. Lou and I had like the closest we've ever come to like a proper fight about this. But like, no, I really think you should provide flip-flops for your guests. Like, I feel quite strongly.
Yeah.
So I would go on the assumption that there are
barefoot,
flip-flops there.
Yeah.
Take
I've
your
never
shoes
been to a
off.
wedding with flip-flops provided.
No, I haven't either.
I don't think you've ever been to a wedding where they don't.
Wow.
Fascinating. Well, we can hash this one out off screen, but I think it's essential. Rachel, what do you do to, if you're going with trainers or flats as a base, what do you do to elevate the rest of your outfit?
Good question. I like trainers with a trouser. I'm not really into it with a skirt. I know some people can do it. I just don't feel I can. A bit young maybe for me. I like it with a wide leg pant. So I've got a nice pair of suit trousers, which I quite like wearing with a trainer, like a Samba or a Gazelle. And then I think also going with a neutral rather than a bright colour for me works better. Like I have a pair of orange Jordans, which I just can't wear because I just feel like mutton dressed as lamb.
Yeah, it's a hard look. Jess, what are the trainers that you're loving at the moment?
So Axel Arigato. I know chunky trainers had a real moment a few years ago. You remember the Balenciaga, the massive ones? I actually never bought those, but Axel Arigato, they're super chunky and I still love them and I wear them all the time.
I think the thing with those trends, like, it was always going to go out of style because it was so, the Louis Vuitton, the Balenciagas was so enormous, but it's sort of just diluted a little bit.
Yeah,
into
I feel like
chunky
these ones are slightly more slimline.
Okay.
They're still chunky.
Yeah.
But they're not as chunky as the Balenciaga moment.
It is funny that plim sole. I've got a pair of Common Projects, which were at a certain point just such a useful shoe to have. But they've kind of died a death, haven't they?
Yeah.
I think a sporty trainer's back.
And New
I
Balance.
really want the
I
New
love
Balance
New
530s, which my sister had them like 2 years ago, and I remember thinking, like, I'm not sure. And now I'm like, how can I not have them?
I have those, honestly, and I wear them
They're so good.
all the time.
And actually, the 550s last year were really cool, and I kind of felt like we've moved away from that. It was very clean, it was quite minimal, and actually, we now want that like sporty foot.
Yeah, like dad trainer.
It like
American dad trainer.
Yeah,
look is
totally.
But I think it's all about where the jean hits. You have to get the jean hitting the right point of the ankle, and then the sock has to hit that right point too, because you can't have it too low or too high. So it's the ankle's crucial, I would say.
And then I think your top layer, you have to make sure you're elongating somehow, otherwise it's a mind.
Proportions, all about proportions.
Yeah.
All right, now onto a bit of beauty. No one does glowing skin quite like SheerLuxe contributor Rafeeka. So she's here to share her ride or die products to combat January dullness. Take a look.
Hi SheerLuxe, I'm Rafeeka, a skincare beauty enthusiast, and today I'm going to be taking you guys through my step-by-step routine on how I achieve this dewy makeup look. The first thing I do is prep my skin, and I go in with the Augustina Sparta's The Rich Cream. It's nice and nourishing, and it gives the most beautiful sheen to the skin without being unnecessarily greasy or sticky. One pump is all you need. A little bit really does go a long way with this product. You just want to dot it all over the face. And already that creates a very radiant base. Some people like to just stick to this, then apply the makeup, and that works perfectly well. But I'm going to add one extra step to give a reflective glass-like glow. And my secret weapon for that is the Kevyn Aucoin Glass Glow Face Illuminator. Again, you only need a little bit of this product. I'm going to apply it to the high points of my face, so down the bridge of my nose. And I'm just going to work it outwards. As you can see, it really does give off a reflective glass-like glow. I'm going to let that sit for a little bit before I go in with my foundation. Now I have 2 foundation recommendations, depending on the look that you want to go for. If you want your skin to peek through and look more natural and glowy, then I definitely recommend the YSL Bare Look Tint. It's like skincare meets makeup. The next one, if you want a more polished, refined look that still looks like skin but 10 times better, I'd recommend the Claire de Peau Radiant Fluid Natural Foundation. This is stunning. Because this is a daytime look that I'm going to be showing you guys, I'm going to go in with my YSL Bare Look Tint. Again, you don't really need a lot of this product. A little bit goes a long way, and I'm going to take my beauty sponge and just haphazardly blend that out. I really like to work any product in there because we're not going to be setting with a face powder, but I want my makeup to last all day. You can see the skin still looks really reflective, really radiant. The next thing I'm going to go in with are my concealers, and there are 2 concealers that I use. The Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Concealer. As you can see, it has been well loved, and this concealer is a new one to my collection. It's the Hourglass Vanish Concealer. It's It's a beautiful consistency. It's really liquidy and very lightweight, but it brightens beautifully. Now the trick when applying concealer is to just dot it where necessary. Got a lovely spot there. Put the concealer on the back of my hand. Just don't want to contaminate my product. Just dab it on with my finger. I'm gonna go in with that beauty blender again and just work the product outwards. Again, really take your time when blending. When I blend out my under eyes, I'm going to be extremely precise, so you can see I'm really working the product in the area of darkness. But when I'm blending out any hyperpigmentation on my face or any imperfections, I'm not as precious. I don't mind if a little bit of the hyperpigmentation peeks through. It again sells the whole dewy, natural skin vibe. And now I'm going to go in with that Hourglass concealer just to brighten. Again, I don't want a lot of product. 2 little dots, and believe me, it goes a long way. Okay, whatever's left on the beauty sponge, just go underneath the eyebrows and ever so lightly on the forehead. Now that our skin is done, I'm going to add dimension and color back in using bronzer. It might sound counterintuitive considering we're doing a glowy makeup look that I go in with a matte bronzer, but it really does sell the whole sun-kissed vibe. I'm using my Charlotte Tilbury powder and sculpt brush, and I'm being extremely light-handed when applying the bronzer, taking it onto the 2 peaks of my forehead, not all the way through because I don't want a ring of bronzer, and in circular motions. I'm not being precious about placement. I just want to warm up the face. I don't really want to carve or sculpt anything. I just like to do the tip of my nose. Now with the same bronzer and a smaller brush, I'm just going to go onto my eyelids and add a little swatch of color. Right up and just take it underneath. As you can see, it just looks radiant, glowy, healthy. My absolute favorite part is the liquid blush. I go in with the Armani A blush in 54. It's got the most beautiful applicator, so it's really easy to apply. And I make 2 little X's onto the apples of my cheeks. Take my ring finger and middle finger and I just pat that out. I really want to focus it just here on the apples because I want to look flushed and youthful. Any excess that's left on my finger, again, just going onto those high points and my chin. Okay, now I'm going to clear off any product that might have gotten onto my lip with a little cotton swab. I'm using MAC Well Lip Pencil, again, well-loved product. And I'm not lining the whole lip, I'm just accentuating the bottom half and my cupid's bow. I'm going to go in with a sort of like a glossy lip conditioning treatment by Revive. And to finish the look, I like to set everything with a dewy mist. Mine is from YSL. And there you have it, my glowy, dewy, glass-like skin routine. Thank you for watching. Bye.
Thank you so much, Rafeeka. I love that. God, that Augustina Spader stuff.
So good.
God, I mean, they take
So
all
good.
my money. It is so good. It's so expensive, but it is so good. What were your takeaways from that, Jess? Just her skin. just her skin and how
Literally
amazing
her
it is.
skin. I was like drooling at her.
Yeah.
No pores at all. But I will say the cream, Augustina Spader, is such an amazing cream. I have really sensitive skin and lots of creams break me out. And that doesn't. Every time I use it, I'm like, my skin sucks it up.
It's the best. If only it was just like a bit more affordable, that'd be nice.
Yeah, I know.
Pit Rachel, inspired by Rafeeka?
Oh yeah, I mean, I watch these videos and I'm just like, that is amazing. And then I shove some Nivea on and walk out the door and I just like, oh. But you know, I wish I was that. I wish I could get into beauty.
Yeah.
Beauty's not my forte.
You've got amazing skin.
Yeah, you've got amazing skin. You don't
Very
use
much.
you. Exactly. Lucky.
Stay out the sun.
Yeah,
I try and
back
Top
to
tip.
50.
There you go. Well, speaking of beauty, things we love from Rafeeka's video, we thought we'd do a bit of a things we love. Rachel, I haven't got what you've got, but apparently there's a whole list. So do you want to reel them off one by
No,
one?
I have
Shame
so many
now.
things I'm loving. Okay, so I was thinking about what I'm loving at the moment, what I'm a bit obsessed with, which is mainly like about healthcare and life care. Okay,
Me too.
January,
I feel
right?
Like that, yeah.
So I did this program last year. It's called It's So Simple, and it's with this girl called Rachel. Rachel It's So Simple, I think, on Instagram. And basically, she just like puts you in a WhatsApp group with all these women who are just trying to like get fit, get healthy, and what do? You work out every day, well not every day, like 5 times a week. She gives you programs to do. She gives you all the right foods
Do
to
you like
eat.
boost each other's
And
confidence?
and it's all these girls who are just
Great
like,
way to
come
make
on,
friends.
like, first of all to make friends, but also to like inspire each other
motivation
and
to get
motivate each other,
going.
because I can't be bothered to work out.
And are you all on the same programme?
You're
or is
all
it
on the
just-
same
okay, that's
programme.
cool.
There's like 15 people in a
Yeah.
group, and everyone's like, "Have you done your workout today?" And it's like not shaming. It's like
Encouragement.
encouragement. Yeah.
Cool.
Anyway, changed my life literally. So that was great. And then I also been reading a lot of what's his name? Tim Spector.
Oh, yes.
Gut health.
Food, yes.
So I'm having clear
Oh, he's
every
just
day.
been on a podcast, hasn't he?
Yeah, he was on a Diary of a CEO.
I haven't listened
I
to it, but I'm
listened to
excited.
that
It's
one.
basically, it's going to be like everything you know is.
Yes,
It's amazing.
I've seen people on
good.
TikTok reading his book and being like, everything you know about food is a lie.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Is it really
and
good?
now I'm like eating seeds in my kafir
Yeah.
for breakfast. I'm
It's
like,
quite,
oh my,
it's
this
quite
is not
scary
me.
though because I listened to that podcast as well, and I was thinking, God, the things I put.
Yeah,
in
what
my
you put in your
Doesn't
body.
it, doesn't it
I
tell you
know.
What
that
it
Dark
does to
Coke
your-
is the death?
Devil.
And sweeteners. It's just
Don't,
about
don't.
just protecting, just moving away from processed foods and eating natural, healthy foods.
Which kind of makes sense.
Which
doesn't
makes
it?
sense.
I actually started
hard,
Simproof a
though.
few days ago because one of our colleagues was getting colds. You might be able to hear, I've got a bit of a cold. And a colleague was getting all the colds towards the end of last year and is on kind of week 7, I think, and says she's been completely fine. So
Amazing.
Simproof, which is like it's a liquid formula.
In a bottle.
In a
I've
bottle,
seen that,
and
yeah.
it's really
Gut health
intense.
bacteria.
Okay.
Probiotic. Anyway, so
Great.
pray for me. Pip, what are you loving at the moment?
Oh, well, mine now sounds bad next to yours, but
Shoes.
telly. Loving telly. No, I'm obsessed with, oh no, I forgot the name.
Happy Valley, I think, is the name of it. There you go. Do you know what? You need both
Guys,
in January.
I love
I was
Happy
watching that
Valley.
last night.
Is anyone else
No,
watching
people
it?
are obsessed though. Yeah, I've not
Obsessed.
seen it.
So I would recommend you have to go. Basically, season 1 and season 2 were ages ago. It was kind of what made James Norton famous, and then they just suddenly announced they were doing a season 3, and we were like, so we've rewatched season 1 and season 2. It's on BBC iPlayer, and yeah,
Is it funny? Is it scary?
No. He's a murderer, and
okay.
it's set in. I want to say Yorkshire, probably going to be wrong. And it's just brilliant. And it's like British telly at its best.
Yeah, it really is,
Yeah.
isn't it? That's why I love it.
Is it Line of Duty vibes?
I love Line of Duty.
Ish, in the way it's like British telly and like, yes, it's like not Americanized at all. And the main actress, Sarah Lancashire, is just...
I love her
brilliant,
so
yeah.
much.
yeah, it's so good. So yeah, that's what I'm obsessed with. But you only get one a week.
That's
you
a
know?
good one,
Thank
honestly.
you. Thank you.
It's quite nice when you don't have to binge as well.
Yeah.
Like it's quite nice to
Well,
take the pressure off. You
I
can just
don't
watch
have
on it.
the self-control to not.
No.
I agree
So
with
it's
you.
really
You're up
nice
till
that-
2 in the morning watching
Yeah.
the next episode because Netflix takes you on.
Exactly. So BBC are controlling me.
Yeah.
Better. But Jess, what about you? What are you loving at the moment?
So my New Year's resolutions, goals, was about well-being and just kind of looking after myself a bit better. And I wanted to start meditating more. So doing it consistently every day rather than just going to it when I'm feeling super stressed or anxious. I think the key is to try and do it every day, whether it's 20 minutes, 5 minutes, and then you can calm your stress levels. So it's an app called Illuminate, and it uses, I'm going to try and get this word right, strobotic light.
Wow,
So you
sure.
flip your phone so the flash is facing you, and it literally
Oh, wow.
flashes strobe light
Okay.
into your eyes, and you're there laying down, obviously meditating.
Your
and
eyes open or shut?
Your eyes are closed,
Okay.
so you flip it, and you can do it for as long as you want, 10,
Well,
15,
but you have
20.
to hold it there on top of it.
I usually put a pillow there and then just put my phone once I'm lying down, and it honestly gets you into such
so
a
interesting.
deep meditative
Really?
state. Yeah.
That sounds quite stressful.
And when do you
It
do
does.
this?
It's like you're in a rave.
Yeah, I'm just thinking it's quite counterintuitive.
But you're listening to really calm music.
Okay.
Oh, so not
And
talking.
it's not like different colours. It's just obviously just white light. It's so good. But
Is
yeah,
there-
I love it.
And there must be a science behind it, presumably. There's a
There
reason
is, I
that
don't know what it
relaxing-
is.
No, that's much better. Anyway, not for people with epilepsy or
But
with
yeah.
photosensitivity.
No, literally, I think
Just
that's
a warning.
online.
Yeah, read the T's and
Yes,
C's.
read the T's and C's. But cool.
But yeah, I love it. So just to meditate every day.
Also,
Try and
some
do it.
people find, if the talking thing isn't for you and the kind of the calm or the headspace, then maybe something a bit different.
Yeah, because I tried Headspace and I do love it, but it kind of gets a bit samey, and that's when I go off track and then don't end up meditating. So I just thought, this is a
Flashing
bit
lights for
different.
the win.
Flashing lights, I'm in a rave.
Fascinating.
Back to my
I
20s.
love it. Well, I'm going to
What
say
about
another,
you?
another
Yeah.
TV series. I'm loving Fauda season 4.
I've just started that. Again, I was up till 2 in the morning watching
What
it.
is
So
this?
addictive. So Fauda is an Israeli series. It's on Netflix. The first 3 seasons are all there. It is about a very, very elite unit in the Israeli army and their misadventures capturing bad guys.
It is so stressful
good.
to watch
It's
because
so
you're just like,
stressful.
what's going to happen?
Yeah, but it's mega.
amazing.
I'm so thrilled with this.
It's a
I
really
need a
good
new show.
Watch it with subtitles. Don't watch it dubbed. Just read the subtitles. It makes you put your phone down. Very good escapism. It's brilliant. Really high-edge drama.
You know what? Subtitles are so good to make you put your phone down.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I agree.
There we go. All right, thanks everyone. Next up, one of the most inspirational women I have ever met, Sarah Delegard, was coming back from work and it was pouring with rain. She lost her footing and ended up falling down the gap between the platform and the train onto the tracks. Nobody saw her. The train departed and another came, and during this she suffered serious injuries with tragic consequences. She is here to share her story. I'm joined now by Sarah. Sarah, it's so lovely to have you here. We were just talking off camera about your story, and God, it's remarkable. So thank you so much for being here with me today.
Well, you're very welcome. Pleased to be here.
Can you start by talking a little bit about life before your accident? Kind of what was it like? What were you doing?
So the accident happened on a Friday, on the 30th of September, and before that, I had a fairly normal life. I'm married. I've got a husband who's lovely, 2 children, 12 and an 8-year-old, and I live in North London, and my job was I work in communications in a financial institution in central London, and there's nothing. I loved going on holidays. Well, nothing too extraordinary. And then all of that stopped on that day.
So we should say, because this kind of is blowing my mind a bit, that this all happened 30th of September, year just gone, 2022. So we'll talk a bit about your journey, but you came out of hospital on the 1st of December, so less than 2 months ago, which is just extraordinary. Tell us a bit about that day in September. What happened?
I was working in the office that day. There was quite a lot of work we had. We were working on a couple of projects, and so I worked late, and I left, I think, about 8 o'clock in the evening, and it was raining. I tried to hail a cab, but there were no cabs, so I thought, okay, I'll take the tube home, and I rested my eyes for what I thought 2 minutes, but then I woke up at the end of the line, realised that I was in the wrong station, tried to get back into central London, but because it rained so much, I slipped on the floor and stumbled into the door of the tube and fell into the gap.
Fell into the gap. So the train was there, the train left. At what kind of state were you in? You were awake, you were conscious the whole time?
I was conscious, and yeah, there was a moment when I fell backwards onto the tracks that I thought, oh my gosh, I'm not supposed to be here at all. This is wrong on so many levels. And surprisingly, I didn't panic. So I knew that I was in a bad way, and I just thought I need to save myself. And that was the only thought on my mind, was to go home and see my family. And it was such a driving force. It gave me so much energy to save myself.
You had built that mental resilience perhaps you've always been a resilient person, but you climbed Kilimanjaro earlier in the year, last year. So, presumably that process really helped you build that kind of stoicism.
I think so. It was really tough. Climbing Kilimanjaro was hard for me. I'm not a mountaineering type of person. I do exercise a little bit, but not excessively. So it was a big adventure. 8 days in a tent.
It's enough to make you stoic. Sure.
Exactly. And then the last climb is the most difficult one. And I remember our guides were quite adamant that we kept a very slow pace, and that we slowed down our heartbeat, that we focused, meditated in order to do the 7-hour climb in the darkness at minus 20 degrees Celsius until you reach the top. And I really think that helped me to survive that night as well, as I was lying on the tracks. It's that almost going into a reduced state where you slow your heartbeat, where you just focus. I need to get out of here.
Which is an incredible skill to have. So you're lying there, you're trying to get help, but it's late and there's no one around.
Yeah, and I shouted for help, and I know that there must have been people on the platform, but these days people have AirPods in, and they don't hear that. And it was also raining quite a lot, so that was probably too much noise for anyone to hear me at that point. I did lose my phone in the fall, and I could see it in the dark. It was glowing.
You've
They're the
got
same
a
colours as
lovely
my
neon phone case.
same as my trainers,
Yeah.
yes. And so the phone was glowing in the dark, and I managed to retrieve it and try to call for help with that.
But didn't work.
But didn't work.
So what happened eventually? Somebody
heard me
Yeah.
and called for help, and luckily the help came really fast.
Okay.
But at that point, the timeline was very blurry for me because I was just trying to cope.
Yeah, of course. How long was it in reality?
I don't know.
Just
I'm
don't know,
not
yeah.
even that sure, but I know that later that night I was in theatre, and we had to call my husband and tell him what had happened, and that was in the early hours of Saturday morning. So
you were airlifted to hospital.
The air ambulance came, and the beauty of the air ambulance is that they're not just the transport of a patient, they actually look after their patients on site, which increases the survival rate because they have everything on board, blood transfusions, necessary drugs, they can scan your body for injuries. Wow. It's quite impressive.
Yeah, so that all happened there. Then they took you off to hospital. And what was the prognosis at that point?
I had a crushed foot, and my arm was crushed above the elbow. I had a laceration at the back of my thigh. Something impaled me at that point, but no idea what it was. And then I had a broken nose, 2 front teeth chipped, a cut under the chin, and and then later on a skin graft was taken from my left upper thigh to fix the arm. Okay. So quite a lot, sorry.
I
don't want to be too graphic either.
No, but that's a lot. That's a lot.
It's a lot.
So you ended up having your leg amputated up to the knee and an arm amputated as well.
Yep.
Talk to us a bit about the recovery. Kind of how long did it take? How did it work? How has that rehabilitation happened?
So I spent 3 weeks in the trauma ward in the Royal London Hospital in Whitechapel. I made good progress there. Doctors and surgeons were quite impressed that I healed so fast, and I was thinking, well, I was at the peak of my health and fitness because Kilimanjaro. So that was quite positive, and I got a bed at the rehabilitation centre in Lambeth, and that place is fantastic, all NHS, and you get 6 weeks to learn how to walk again, how to use your limbs again in a way.
What's been the hardest part, or what was the hardest part of that process?
I think it was being apart from my family. I missed my children so much. I mean, they came to visit, but there's nothing worse than getting a phone call from your daughter in the evening. She's in tears, and you know, Mummy, I had a nightmare that you will never come home, and it really, really is gut-wrenching. And at that point, I made a promise to my daughters. I said, look, whatever happens, I'll be home for Christmas.
And you were?
And I was.
And you were saying to us before that your daughters have taken it amazingly well and have been really resilient as well. How have you kind of instilled that in them?
I think it's the way that my husband and I reacted to the accident. So obviously, we were in shock at the beginning, but we very quickly switched over to saying, like, look, this accident happened. We can't do anything about it. Sadly, we can't regrow our limbs. But Mummy's going to get a really cool robot leg and a really cool robot arm. And so they could see into the future rather than being sorry about the accident and thinking about how good it was in the past.
And as we said, you're here, which is
exactly
better than the alternative. So you've got the prosthetic leg on at the moment, and the arm sounds incredible. Can you tell me a bit about it? It's
tailor-made to fit you, and so there are two versions of it. There is the myoelectric arm that has sensors on the socket, and it basically records your muscle movements to mimic our natural movements.
So clever.
It's so clever. Yeah. And then the true bionic arm requires a step up, and it's basically you have to have an operation to separate the nerves. So not only do the sockets read the muscle movement, but also the nerve signals, and that makes every movement a lot smoother. But it all depends. I probably need quite a bit of training to remind my brain to send those signals to the muscles to make the
sure.
But it actually really, it's incredible. It actually makes your hand move like a natural hand. So clever. You're obviously just at the beginning of this journey, but you started a GoFundMe account which has helped raise the money for the arm, and you've been just so thrilled with people's generosity, right? We set the GoFundMe page at £250,000 because that's what we found out was the required amount. for the arm and the physio and all of the re-education part. But I told my husband, I said, nobody's going to, this is way too much money. And the day I was discharged from the rehab centre was the 1st of December. That's when we reached our goal, and I couldn't believe how generous people had been, how kind, and I got so many messages about like, you're such an inspiration, and and I was like, oh, thank you.
It's just such,
overwhelming.
And such a relatable person, and then something so, and your attitude to it has been so inspiring as well. You're still continuing to raise money. People are still donating. What's the goal? What's the plan with the money?
So I was hoping to donate the access to the people who have saved my life. So, the air ambulance charity. That's really a way of saying thank you, and hoping that they will be able to help other people who are in a similar situation.
Rightly so. What is your top tip for being so positive? You're obviously so positive about it. How do you maintain that?
It's accepting what has happened and not dwell on the past. Like, I have this habit of, I execute things, I do things, and then I move on and I look to the future, and that really, enables me to stay positive. Now, of course, I have moments where, the big tears come because something triggers me, but I always have my husband close by, so he can take him. He can help me overcome that. And of course, I have psychological help, so I'm well looked after in that sense. But every morning we have the choice when we wake up, and there's a lot of negative feelings that I do have, bitterness and anger and disappointment and all of that. But I put them in a box and say, today I'm choosing to be happy. I need to be happy for myself, for my family. And those negative feelings, they get unpacked every now and then when I speak to my psychologist.
in an appropriate time of day.
Exactly.
God, Sarah, so inspiring. There's so much from that we can all take. I must remember that technique. I think that's awesome advice. We're going to put the GoFundMe link in the notes below. Anything else, anywhere else that you would like to direct people towards?
I do chart my recovery on my Instagram account, so you might want to put that up there as well.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Thank you for telling your story. All right, now it is BTS. Take a look at a typical Monday in the office for me. Hello, welcome to my day in the life. It is Monday the 16th of January, which means that it's Blue Monday, post-Christmas, like mid-Jan, there's like no hope, we haven't had a drink, I haven't had a drink, but a lot of people haven't had a drink for weeks. It's all just like very depressing and miserable. So here to spread some cheer. As far as days in the life go, Laura went last and hers was very fun and Christmassy and festive. Monday the 16th of January is not necessarily the funnest day to be followed around, but it's basically, my Mondays anyway are back-to-back with meetings. So we're going to have a video and podcast workload catch-up meetings. Then we have a commercial approval meeting. We've got a social meeting. Then we've got a shoots catch-up. Then we've got an editorial meeting to check out what's going on in the editorial calendar for a few weeks' time. There's a Luxe Girl planning meeting. There's fashion calendar, and there's an SL Man calendar catch-up.
Busy.
It's
Better get going.
Find some time to do some work as well. Just to have in your mind for every shoot, just to let the social girls know about it. So if Star Spotlight, like that kind of thing. We talk about TikTok with commercial, because we're at more than 30,000 followers now. I had 30 in my head as a number at which we could start monetizing it. I've literally cut that number out of nowhere, but anyway, now we're there.
So how much did it grow by this weekend?
20,000.
Stop it.
Yeah, that video.
Wow.
What did TikTok?
TikTok.
Really?
Video going around the team saying, like Hodge, whose bags you want to steal.
Oh, nice.
Anyway, we're at 33,000 followers now. So, I mean, I don't see why we can't start building that in at a very small level to everything we do.
What was your target for the year?
I don't really have one. The target has been to grow it, and it's such a weird beast compared to some of the other social platforms. So it's not, I think you can hit 100,000 in like a day if you get the right videos. So I've just been sent the proposed new design for the website. We're making some design changes. This is the first time I've seen anything. It's so nice. It looks so much cleaner and slicker. You have to keep innovating and creating something new, and it has to keep kind of updating to look as fresh as possible, because obviously that's like the first thing that people see to represent your brand, and this looks like really fucking awesome.
Guides. Did we talk about doing some things for him? But that's kind of our MO. Like, if any, that should be easier for us than like, okay, what sound should we use now?
100%.
Like,
We just everyone needs to have that brain on.
Yeah. Right. This is the portion of the morning where we just sit and wait for the next meeting.
She's very interested.
Oh my god, what's happening?
She's got a bad back.
I just had to do these stretches to reset.
So dramatic. You even in this meeting, Hodge?
No! So fun. I did it in Joe and the Juice yesterday. The kids were so embarrassed.
You did this in Joe? What down right?
Dirty Joe and the Juice. You've never met?
No. How are you?
Toby's got this book coming out.
Yes.
Which you mentioned on the show, didn't you? But I wondered if we could do a podcast being a working mother.
Yes.
So it's out on the 8th or 9th of March. And a full-time job. And her Instagram platform.
But also, you know, we're all like, oh, one day I'll write a book. I'm like,
I know, I really write a book.
what are you going to write? What are you going to write?
What do you write?
It's friends, but I just wouldn't have put you on a book person.
Well, maybe I'd style it out. Maybe how to live your best life.
You do live your best life.
Style it out.
I'll give you a chapter, babe.
Thanks, we'll get it.
So the way Exam works is there's 7 news stories, and the idea of having a guest editor. The idea of a guest editor is that they would then, you know, come up with each one of those concepts, what they find interesting. Someone like David Gandy works really well because he is kind of across every category. You know, he's interested in cars and in travel and style and grooming and all of that. So for us, it's also a really good way to like get different names and other people involved. So for people to bring in their friends and, you know, just create the content that they want to create, basically. So he's basically coming in for what, I wish there was a better word to describe this, but we're calling it speed dating. So he's coming into the office for 4 hours, and we'll have like an hour session or a 45-minute session with each editor to hash out the content. So Gandhi's up for the Anna Wintour thing. Brilliant. So he'll basically sit down with each person, pre-approve each piece of content. We'll get whatever social content we need to get, and we want to be able to tease it and like make the most fuss of it as possible. And then, so that's kind of the boring bits almost. The fun bits are his suggestions of friends to get involved. So I can't say who they are, needless to say, he's got some cool friends.
And does he have any idea of the ideas you're going to
what I was going to do? No. So I had to voice note his PR. But yeah, I had this, as I say, what I thought would be really fun as a way to tease it on social is to have him kind of come and do a faux. You know, we'll do like a spoof trailer that he's coming in to be a guest editor, but therefore he's behaving like Anna Wintour, you know, Devil Wears Prada vibe. So he's going to come in sunglasses and we'll film him doing all sorts of diva-ish things. You know, when there's just loads of really good ideas being floated around, and just really, like, if it comes off, it'll be so sick.
Yep.
It's like the only place that fills me up. Thank you. Alrighty.
What did you go for? Sorry,
I went for ciabatta with chicken, and what does it have? Chicken avo, rocket, tomato, something like that.
First aid kit.
See, that is what I get, and everyone else gets nice beefy bits. Treats. Ooh, that's cool. What have we got here then?
Right, anyway,
So this Naturum, apparently this is like Paula's choice, is the holy grail. They say it's Botox in a bottle, don't they? Ooh, an eye cream.
Ooh, a boy smells candle. Sorry, we're just getting into everyone's snacks. I don't know who they are.
Oh! I actually bloody love these.
What are they? It's so fashion. So we have a TikTok idea, which is basically, we've got a list of fashion challenges, which we're gonna put into a hat, and basically everybody has to pull one out, and then you have to do that challenge tomorrow. So it's not like we're not wearing it. They're just challenges. They just are things that you might not otherwise do.
Go to a charity shop next door and find something to wear to work tomorrow. I like that one.
Make a sweatshirt look really elevated and SL offers appropriate.
Pick a fashion team friend and swap a piece for the day. Oh, it's a good one.
Wear a dress.
Hello.
Hello.
What are you up to, Hattie?
I am working on the parenting edition, which goes live on Thursday. So looking at all the images and the copy, how we should lay everything out, and then I'll do the email as well.
What's going on, guys? What are you guys up to?
We are airdropping the latest campaign for the Diamond Store. I'm very expensive.
We had to pay top money for this.
This is my girlfriend. This is for Galentine's.
Catch that face.
Charlotte, can you tell us a little bit about your new role as editor? How has it changed?
Well, it's changed quite a lot. So I became editor like end of September, beginning of October, but the pre-Christmas period for us at SheerLuxe is always so hectic. I feel like, you know, that's our promotion time always, but it always feels like in January that's when you start a new role. So it literally felt like day one of January, like, right, okay, here we go, like this is it. So it's not a massive jump in the sense that for a long time I've been across everything, but it's new at being my problem. And look, Georgie's always around obviously, but as editor she was always the person to kind of give final sign off to everything, and obviously now that's me. So a lot of pressure. Also, you need people like that within a business with so many areas, and it's also, you know, it's like a moving jigsaw. So you need, you know, someone who has a vague idea of what's going on across every area. I'm used to things being a joint decision, and so it's a bit of a like, I have to keep reminding myself like, oh no, like you have to, like, you know, if somebody's asking you for your opinion,
you're the final call.
You're the final call, yeah. Exactly. So it's both getting used to that and getting used to the pressure that comes with that.
So it's Chinese New Year on Sunday, so I am writing a guide of where to eat in London. Yeah, happy Lunar New Year. Oh, that's a mouthful. Lunar New Year.
The 4th of Feb is World Cancer Day, so I am writing a piece on how to support people with cancer according to cancer survivors. So I'm just in the process of trying to find some people and like a different range of cancer survivors. So kind of working out what I'm going to ask them to get a good quote to the piece.
Amazing.
Thanks, cool. Thank you. Mondays are always a bit like that, but back to back, it's planning for a week. But now I'm done, now I'm free. So I'm
Blue Monday is
nearly finished, exactly. I'm gonna finish off some emails and then we go again tomorrow. Thanks for joining me.
All right, that was it. That was a day of my life. There you go.
It's such a normal Monday.
It was a very unglamorized version of a day in the life. Are your Mondays the same?
Exactly, honestly, exactly the same. It's back-to-back meetings. You never actually get any of your own work done. I feel like all you're doing is talking to everyone else, catching up, approving, you know, ticking things off, all that sort of thing. And then it sort of gets to, like last night it was like 7 and I was like, right, my answer, in fact, I answered Hodge's email. I might answer some emails.
Yeah, exactly. You're on someone else's time on a Monday, aren't you? Yeah, so true.
I just don't have Hodge lying on the floor in my office doing
that at least keeps things interesting. It does. Jess, your Mondays, can you be motivated on a Monday? I think I'd really struggle.
I kind of pre-plan in my head on a Sunday, like just have a little like idea of what I want to do for Monday, and then Monday morning it's just admin, emails, trying to sort myself out for the week, booking in appointments. So it's pretty boring. And it gets dark so early. By the time it's like 4 o'clock, I'm like, oh, God, where's the day gone?
All right, thank you everyone. And thank you, of course, also to Rafeeka, Sarah and the SheerLuxe team. On next week's show, Joe Good is back in the host seat. We have fashion with Gail Rinkoff, a catch up with Joe Malone and lots more. In the meantime, we would love it if you could comment below. Do give us a thumbs up if you haven't already and do subscribe too. Have a wonderful day wherever you are. Bye-bye.